Hi, I'm Dana. I am a Midwestern neurodivergent author, and I publish under the name D.L. Pitchford. I write all kinds of things, mostly focusing on literary fiction and speculative fiction and horror.
My favorites. I know I saw you had 4 books published. Indie-wise. What are the titles of those 4, or genres too?
The first 3 books are part of a series. So the first book is If We Had No Winter, and then the second is The Longer We Dwell, and the third is Who We Might Have Been. And that is like a contemporary literary new adult family saga kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It focuses a lot on like depression and mental health.
So a lot of touching topics.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And then the 4th book is the only YA book I have ever written and probably will ever write.
Why is that? Was it hard to navigate, or?
I think it was something that I wrote because I thought, since I was writing contemporary fiction, that's kind of where my stories fit. But they don't, because I realized after the fact that they're more literary fiction than they are like contemporary romance. There's a huge romantic subplot, but they're not romance and they don't fit those genre tropes. So now I just have this one YA contemporary romance where it's like, I mean, it's a fine book, but it wasn't what I wanted to be writing, and it doesn't fit my style of writing.
So you just dabbled with it a little bit and then realized that it just wasn't your thing.
Yeah.
That happens. I tried to write romance before, and I realized it wasn't really my thing either. Maybe as a subplot, but yeah.
Right.
What projects are you working on right now?
Right now, I am trying to finish the final book in that initial series.
Okay.
Because, like, I really need closure for these characters, and I'm so close to being done. But I took several years worth of break, so it has been especially difficult to get into. But after I do that, I am going to focus more on horror, like folk horror and gothic horror especially.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my favorites. I love all horror. Especially gothic. Do you have like any ideas?
I mean, the main one that I want to work on right now is a Victorian gothic horror that is Red Riding Hood meets Jack the Ripper.
Okay.
So, like, Jack the Ripper is a werewolf. Red Riding Hood has to find out who it is and protect all of these young girls who are getting mutilated.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I'm really excited about that project.
That sounds exciting. I definitely need to read that. Look at you. Which fictional universe, not your own, can't choose one of your own, it gotta be another one, would you move into immediately, no questions asked?
I have to say Middle Earth. I'm even wearing a Hobbit door, but I would want to live in the Shire.
Okay. What's the good reason why you would want to move into the Shire?
All of these adorably sweet little hobbits, obsessed over food and just like taking care of each other. They have such a good sense of community.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just fun.
Right. No, you got to choose it because you got the necklace on. Do you remember like the first story you ever wrote?
I know some of them. Like there were a few that I was writing a lot really early on when I was like 7 or 8. They were like fantasy stories, like isekai, where you travel to another world. And I don't know, they were very bad. I still have some of the stuff. Like, I have my original chapters and like the character artwork that my older sister drew for me because I couldn't draw well enough. I have all of that stuff. I've kept it for a very long time. Purely because of nostalgia. There's no good content there. Like, there's nothing worth writing in it. It's just bad.
Well, we need to hear that one day. You haven't made a video. Have you shared any of your?
I haven't yet. I do want to.
Me too, because I want to see what it says. And you know what? You should do like so you should show us like read to us, your old stuff, and then maybe try to like rewrite it. Like show us how you would rewrite it now.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I would like to see that. So keep that in your mind.
I will.
That story was from when you were like 8
Yeah.
years old. So you've been writing since you were 7 or 8, pretty much. And has it been all the way through, or have you taken like long breaks?
The only like actual breaks I've taken was when I was pregnant. Aside from that, I've been writing the whole time. Even when I've taken a break from publishing, I've still been writing my own things just like for myself in the background.
I know you do. You've only done indie publishing, but I think I saw where you're thinking about doing traditional publishing in the future.
Yes, I would like to be hybrid. It is something that I've wanted for as long as I can remember, basically. But when I first decided to publish my books, I was worried about creative freedom. But like in retrospect, I think my books would have done better as traditionally published because they're literary fiction. And that does better with traditionally published books.
Right.
But yeah, that's definitely something I want to do in the future. I would like to be hybrid. Kind of how I want to dip my toes in that is I want to start submitting to literary magazines, doing short stories and stuff.
Yeah, that is a good way to dip your toes in. I would start there. When you do publish your books, self-published, how does that process look for you?
Messy.
Okay.
I am both simultaneously like very organized and not very organized. So it is like a slow process. It's been a while since I've done it because I think the last book I published was 2019 and then I took a long break. The self-publishing scene changes so quickly because that's how technology is.
Right.
So I feel like I'm very behind and don't know how to do anything anymore. But my process is relatively simple, I think, because I don't focus a whole lot on marketing. And I'm not big on capitalism, so that changes how I approach it compared to a lot of other indie authors who like really dive deep into like marketing and promoting everything constantly. I guess my process is write the book, get a cover, and then publish it. I don't.
So basically it's just write the book, and then you go make that cover, and then you publish it, and then after that it's just whatever happens.
The best and
do
a tiny bit of marketing and then get overwhelmed
and then stop and
don't do it.
I mean, that's
I'm
realistic.
Not good at it.
I definitely gotta check out some of your books. I support it. Oh, y'all. Y'all hear that? She got 4 of them already up there. So go check them out. And what was the first one in the 3-book series?
If We Had No Winter.
If We Had No. I like that title, by the way. If We Had No Winter. What does your writing routine look like?
I'm still trying to figure that out because, like, I was writing in the time that I took off, but it wasn't a regular thing. And during that time, I had young children, so it was like I write on my phone in moments that I have. And I don't really have a good consistent process. I now have a work time that I do that stuff in, but a lot of my writing time winds up being moments that I record for vlogs because like part of why I started AuthorTube was so that I have that accountability because my biggest struggle is actually sitting down and doing it. So I'm still figuring that out. My life is a mess right now.
That is okay. Especially being a mom. Because all your time is not your time when you're a mom. So we know your writing routine right now is just up in the air. I mean, it's whenever you got the time to do it. But at least you do it when you find that slot. What's the best writing advice that someone has ever given you, and what's the worst?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. Unfortunately, the best writing advice is to just sit down and do it. I don't like that that's the best writing advice because it feels oversimplified and like boring, but
Mm-hmm.
that is the main advice for a reason. I suppose one other thing would be like to people watch. That's something my uncle suggested to me when I was in high school. Just pay attention to how people are interacting and like use that in your stories to
Mm-hmm.
understand how people communicate.
Yep, that's good advice.
Um,
Especially for dialogue. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not
And
sure what the
then,
advice would be.
no, don't you lie to us. Yeah. All right. Let me think.
I have definitely had some family members after I published my first book be kind of like, "Oh, that was interesting," because like I have very conservative family members and I am very not conservative. And some very not conservative things happen in that book and
Mm-hmm.
I think it surprised them. It's a huge spoiler, so like I don't want to say it. It's
How do you approach editing your own work?
I am vigorous in my self-editing. I am an editor. I have an editing business, but I am like especially harsh on myself. My line editing is like constant, like notes everywhere. It's actually my favorite part of the process, though. It's really fun. So, like, basically, how I do it is I do my initial draft and then I go through and do like the developmental edits, and then I do another draft and do the line edits, and so on. I probably do way more edits than necessary because I do most of my own editing. I do not really outsource it much
Mm-hmm.
because I have the skill and I should use that.
Mm-hmm.
I do recommend that even editors get their own books edited by other editors,
Right.
but sometimes you just can't afford that and you use your own skill.
Yeah. Maybe with for someone that can't afford an editor, if you do what you can, and then if anything, get other eyes on it, like beta readers or
Yeah,
critiquers, and
yeah.
then edit what you can.
hmm Yeah, I also have quite a few critique partners that go over things with me. Having other eyes, even if it isn't a professional editor, is the most important part.
Because someone else will see the things that you either choose not to see or or
Yeah,
you miss. So pretty much you edit yourself, but you do have your critique partner and multiple drafts. Say like you start with the big picture things as you should.
yeah,
Okay. Do you ever feel imposter syndrome, and how do you deal with it?
every single day. I don't really know how I deal with it. It is like I have rejection sensitive dysphoria, which is associated a lot with like ADHD and autism. And it's basically where even a minor critique, you can logically look at it as like, oh, that's fine, it makes sense, and I agree with them, but your emotions still like overreact. So, like, even the mildest slight, even something not even related to me, causes like a huge reaction. And it's very frustrating because I can look at these things and be like, oh, they did not mean that comment in that way, and I know that, but like my feelings are still overreacting. So that really makes imposter syndrome worse. I am critiquing myself and comparing myself to others who are not even comparable. And it does make it more difficult than I feel like it typically would be. And I don't know how to rein that in. I don't know how to tell my brain to behave.
Being a writer, I mean, that is something that you'll probably run into or do run into every day.
hmm
So I can only imagine the struggle of that, especially when you're trying to complete a book.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is a constant struggle, and it's more like you just have to learn to live with it and push through it.
Well, I'll be thinking about you. Is that Kitty that I hear?
Yes, it is. Hold on. Hi.
Oh,
I'm talking in here. She doesn't like being left out.
I heard her. She said, meow. She was agreeing with you in the background. So we got a special guest, guys.
Say hi.
Say hi. Meow. That's all right. You could be a part of it. You know, we all know sometimes the excitement wears off when you're past the halfway point, or maybe even getting to the halfway point in a book.
Excitement definitely wears off. In the past, it has primarily been like word count goals to help stay motivated and focused. That doesn't seem to be working very much these days, and I don't know why that has changed.
You got used to it already.
Yeah.
Now you got to switch it up to something else.
That is definitely a factor. I need to find something new that helps me stay focused. And for now, I think it's YouTube. That accountability of like, I have to keep going. I have to finish this draft because I need to have something to show for what I'm doing to include in my videos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Who is that author? Oh my gosh, I don't remember the name, but there's an author that had a pre-order, but she never completed the book.
Oh, yes.
And she got like so much money.
Britt Andrews?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Don't be like
Oh my god. No, I can't even imagine doing a Kickstarter or something like that, crowdfunding an incomplete story. Use that process for the publishing aspect. Writing the book doesn't cost money, it just costs time. There's so many more opportunities for authors and for publishing in general. Like, have things gotten less nuanced in our society in general? Absolutely. But there's so much good opportunity.
That's true. Definitely more opportunity and more publishers like that you see, literary agents, easier access to. Now we got like a more of a range because people aren't so stuck up the butt now. They like these different voices.
I love literary fiction. I love Shakespeare. I love snobby literature with the capital L. But I like diversity too. I like having a wide range of voices. And that's something that was severely lacking. Like, most of the old literature is old white men. And, like, sure, that's not to say that those things are bad because of that, but there's so much history that we're missing because women and people of color were not given voices at the time. All we have to look at, the majority of like Western history is just white men.
Right.
That's not enough.
It's not. I could talk about that for an hour.
Right?
Right. I could talk about that for hours. Guess what time it is?
Oh, it's time to spin the wheel.
It's time to spin. Are you excited or what?
I'm so nervous. I don't think very quickly on my feet, so I'm like terrified that I'll write like 50 words and that's it.
It don't matter. You can write 1 sentence. We're about to spin the wheel, and you already know you're going to have 5 minutes to brainstorm and then 20 minutes to write. So let's see what you have, what your prompt is going to be. Here we go. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. This might be a good one. All right, I know everyone can read, but you know the deal. Misheard lyrics. Think of some of the song lyrics you have misheard throughout the years. Pick your favorite and use these misheard lyrics as the title of a new creative writing piece. Write a story, scene, or poem based on this title. So this is giving you options. You can do a short story or a poem. Now look, you can do just a scene. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? They're helping you out. Think of some of the song lyrics you've misheard. There's plenty that I've misheard before. Still to this day, I was singing it wrong. I was like, what?
It means I have to think of misheard lyrics.
Now, if you wait, hold on, don't start yet. Wait, we gotta get our brainstorming clock over here. Give me your brain. Let me reset it real quick. Ready, steady, brainstorm.
Okay. This is the beer. I have no ideas. Okay.
Now you can better use Google. What's the most misheard lyrics?
I mean, I have to.
We use Google for writing anyway.
Problem is, like, most of these, I probably don't even realize that I know them wrong.
Well, look, now you're gonna learn something today when you find out it's been wrong this whole time. That makes me want to look up something.
Oh my gosh. All of these websites want me to disable my ad blocker, and I don't want to.
Let's see. They got BuzzFeed.
Most of these misheard lyrics sound really stupid.
Right. Which one? I'm on BuzzFeed and I'm like, what?
I'm friends with the mustard under my bed. Really?
Hold on, because they put in some fake ones up here. You gotta go to like Reddit. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, I have 2 minutes. Reddit's funny. Excuse me while I kiss this guy. This person thought Jimi Hendrix was bisexual because they heard kiss this guy instead of kiss the sky. I love that, actually.
Oh, so use that right there.
Yep. I mean, at this point, kind of need to.
It was crazy. I can't remember now what lyrics I misheard before.
Some of these things, it's like, oh, the second that I have to think of something, I don't know how to think anymore.
Right. And then it all disappears off the internet, too.
Yeah? Okay. So... I've got something. Oh. I don't know. This might just be something where I need to free write it.
Right, hey, that's the best thing. Better free write that, Jean. You can do. No, I can't take it. But look at that. We're around. Why did I do that? How did you feel about that brainstorm right there?
That was a disaster, which is fine. I knew it would be.
But that was an easy but hard at the same time.
Right. It's like I could do anything with it, but you have to have that starting point.
So now we have one little thing up there. All right. Let me know when you're ready. Do you need a stretch? Use the potty. Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
I think I might need to listen to this song while I write.
Right, you might need to. And I saw this one that's stuck in my head now it said, give me the, they thought they said, give me the Beach Boys.
Oh my gosh.
Instead
That's so funny.
All right, we ready for this. So you ready? 1, 2, let's go. Boom. Started it. It's on the clock. Can't see it, but I will let you.
I need to make this song on repeat. Okay. Cat, go away. Okay. Okay. I'm listening to the music for a little bit.
Okay.
Why is starting the hardest part?
These black people.
Oh my gosh.
To you, I mean, what? All right, let's think first. You want to do a scene?
Okay. I don't. I don't know. I'm just writing words. What's the word I'm looking for? My brain died. I need a name.
You need a name.
Yeah, I don't. I guess we're just going with Hendrix because that's where we're at. And Jimmy seems weird. Or
Hendrix.
simple. We're just doing this. This is my only option. time check?
We are. Look, we got 13 minutes.
Okay. That's not nearly as bad as I expected.
All right, you still got time.
I don't know where this is going.
That's the best part. Still got some time. You got 9 minutes. It's going good.
It's going something.
Well, I like it so far.
types of drinks do people have? I don't know. That's not a word.
Oh, would you put vodka tonic? Sure, I guess. Yeah.
Time.
We got 6 minutes.
Okay. Blacklight. That's the term I was looking for. I was staring at that and going, that's not right.
That's why we do drafts, you know.
Mm-hmm. But also suddenly now there's black lights.
Things look ugly under black light. You ever noticed how ugly people look under black light?
They look so creepy. Like that's what I want.
Yeah, they look creepy. That's the word.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to repeat that word. Hi, cat. Go away.
What do we got? We got 1 minute on the clock.
I don't know. I think I need to stop there or it's just going to get out of hand.
Yeah, you got 10 seconds left.
Yeah, that's not enough to do anything.
Here we are. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, look at that. Sweet. Perfect. Now, how did you feel about that 20 minutes?
I mean, it went way better than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to get started, but like once I got going, I kind of got a feel for what this would be. I don't know. It was fun.
Okay. And I mean, we already have a title, right?
Right.
So, and if you had, I mean, where do you think it would have ended up? Like, what in your mind as you were writing, what was going on?
Something supernatural is happening here. There is something about this guy that is eerie and weird, and I don't know where exactly that would go, but I am definitely open to exploring it.
Okay.
He has kind of like hypnotized him.
Right. So then let's hear it in your voice. Let's get you to read this, what we have so far. And how many words was it that was?
495.
Look at that. You're talking about some 50 words.
Yeah. The frantic rhythm of his heart thumped through the floorboards along with the beat, and the bright lights, moderately diffused by the smoke, glared in his eyes. There was too much going on, too much sensory input, and he couldn't focus on anything beyond the powerful rhythm. On the dance floor, the bodies moved as one, swaying along with the music. The movements were hypnotic, further emphasized by the bass hammering along with his heartbeat. Hendrix weaved through the crowd, trying to get his bearings. The dancers bumped into him, and he struggled to move out of the way before being shoved further off course. On the other side of the large open space, someone was waiting for him. "Come here!" Someone grabbed his arm as he tried to pass, tugged him close, but he tried to shake them away. "Dance with us!" the girl shouted over the music. It took him a moment to recognize her. She was part of the group he'd arrived with only half an hour ago, but he didn't know her well. The others were there too, dancing in the middle of the dance floor, but he pulled away. He started to say something, wanted to give a reason, an excuse, but she shrugged off whatever he was about to say and moved on. And he moved on too. He was nearly on the other side when a couple bumped into him, spilling a drink down his side, but he brushed it off, determination tight in his chest, and finally pushed past the final barrier. I hate that. Suddenly, everything was almost calm. The man at the bar was tall and lean and oddly by himself for someone dressed up so nicely. Their eyes met for half a second, and Hendrix knew why. He'd known it from the other side too, known that the moment he'd spotted him. For whatever reason, this man was expecting him, and he had been waiting for him. Hendrix pushed closer. "Can I buy you a drink?" The man glanced at him, his icy blue eyes assessing him, and gave a curt nod. "Vodka tonic." They stood in silence, the air heavy between them, after he ordered. and when the drink arrived moments later, it lit up in the black lights, the eerie glow matching his eyes. Hendrix shifted closer, swallowing down his nervousness. "What's your name?" The man didn't look at him. He didn't even react as he took a drink. "Have you seen them in concert before?" Glowing eyes darted toward the stage in acknowledgement, but he shook his head. "I saw them the last time they came through town," Hendrix added, desperate for some tidbit of interaction. "My friend's obsessed, and we have to see them every time they— Do you want to get out of here?" He paused, his stomach coiling in anticipation. The answer was obvious before he could even voice the word. There was nothing he could do but say yes.
Now, I'm just saying, this was good. This was actually, I see where you were going. What you're saying, like, the guy's weird. Things were probably going to get strange if we was going to keep going. I just knew they was
Yes.
I could feel it. But no, this is really, you almost got 500.
Yeah, that's like way more than I expected.
Way more than you expected. And it was actually good.
It's not bad. It needs some serious editing.
Right, which is why we got the other drafts. But no, you should. This is a story, I think, same thing that I did with Leah when she finished hers after and then sent it to me.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, you should finish this one and see where it takes you, just to see where it goes.
Yeah, I think I will.
But yeah, this was, I enjoyed it. And I want to know what's about to happen. Honestly, I want to know where they about to go. Why he want to get out of there? So why he being weird? Why he not? It's like he got one thing on his mind and he knows. Now we need to do about it. So yeah, that was good. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back, boy.
Yeah.
Why you say it like that? What are you feeling like?
Just anxiety. That's
anxiety from what? This is good work in front of us, right?
Yes, but it's like performance anxiety when you have to get up and do something on stage or something. Like, it has happened and now I need to come down.
I know exactly what you mean.
It is pretty good though. Like, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and there's a lot of potential here. So, like, this is such a fun exercise.
Yeah,
and
you got
I'm
yourself
glad that I pushed myself to do it.
Exactly, you got yourself a short story right there. That's about to be good, I think. So the 20 minutes was fun. We got ourselves a good look at how your writing voice is and your process, when it comes to starting and thinking through things and, you know what I'm saying, seeing things as you're writing and then coming back to it. That's the process right there. What advice would you have for other writers?
Really just stay focused, keep going. Finishing something is the hardest part. Once you do that, then you're able to actually make it better.
Some good advice. Just get it all out and then come back to it. Where can we find more?
I am here on YouTube at DL Pitchford, and you can also go to my website, which is dlpitchford.com, and I have all of my books on there and any other social links.
Yeah, we'll be linking your things down below, so definitely go check out her page with her videos and her process. She gets more in detail about things and just showing her working live on sprints and things like that.
I did sign up to do one with CK later in the month, and I want to do more of them.
Well, I really enjoyed having you today and in your process and getting that writing challenge done, because I always love seeing it. And I hope you finish that story and let us know. Let me know how it goes, how it ends.
I will. Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.